Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a great way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up, by leaving a comment, by leaving 2 comments, by telling me what you are having for breakfast, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. It does indeed help with the algorithm. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Of course, the cryptocurrency space is never boring, so of course we have a lot of ridiculous things to talk about. For those of you who do not know, I come bearing good news. I hold the good news in my hands. It says Ethereum has started a fresh surge. Here's how Ether could rally to a new all-time high. Ripple price analysis, bulls eyeing a fresh rally above $1.20. This one says Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins start a fresh increase. Yes, that's right. The entire cryptocurrency market is currently going up right now. It's all shooting for the stars or shooting for the sky, or it's aiming for something that is up in the air that we ourselves cannot reach because we don't have wings. It says Bitcoin makes a comeback. Here's why. $53,500 holds the key. There's always some type of an arbitrary number, and I know that there are a lot of people out there who love the charts and who love to look at stuff, but I've been here for such a long time, believe me. I've read, I think literally at this point, thousands of articles, and they always kind of say something along the lines of, well, if Bitcoin, 50,000 is the key for us to not fall any lower, and then we fall down to 47,000, and they go, well, 46,000 is the key. So, there are many keys inside of one big gigantic box, and I guess you got to choose whichever one is shiniest for you. The entire point is, the market's moving back up. The market looks healthy, as it should have been for the entire time. And I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, and this is what I believe to be the actual catalyst for the reason of the movements, of course. It says Bitcoin rebounds 6,000 after a ridiculous weekend. Altcoins deep in the green. Now, here we go. Fixing my tie. I'm not wearing a tie. It says the search for Bitcoin on Google has soared to a new all-time high in Turkey, following the ban on cryptocurrency payments in the country. A few days ago, the government placed a blanket ban, almost said manket man, blanket ban on the use of cryptocurrency for payment in the country, citing concerns over the security of users' funds. We can all assume that that is not the truth. However, the ban seems to be creating the opposite effect. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. To what it was meant to achieve, although the ban coincided with a drop in the price of Bitcoin, which it has not recovered yet. The interest in the asset has increased in the country as indicated by search volume. I believe that, they always have a chart. So for those of you who do not know, you can you can say whichever way you want. Either history rhymes or history repeats itself, whichever makes you feel all tingly inside. About multiple countries have done this before, many have done the exact same thing before, where they've either announced that they were going to be banning it, or that they did ban it, and then they reversed the ban, but somewhere along the way, within the first couple of days, and they say, hey, we're going to ban it, we don't like it, we want to protect the people. Yeah, that's what it is. We want to make sure we protect the people. There's always a huge spike in the amount of people who are actually using cryptocurrency and trying to buy Bitcoin or searching for ways to buy Bitcoin within said country who banned it before. So for those of you who do not know why they banned it, wink, and also why many people have been searching for Bitcoin, it's right here. I must have shown you this chart before. If I have not, have a gander, have a looky, because this is part of the problem. This is the Turkish lira inflation rate. That's right. So you see these numbers right here. It says 12.6, 11. I know I must have shown you this before. We must have gone over this. 14%, 15%, 14, 15, 15%. You get it. Big numbers, big numbers. Normally, the idea is that governments say that on a yearly basis, they want the inflation rate to be between 1 to 2%. It never ends up being that. It's always like 2.5 to 3%, but who's counting? We are. The point is, if you look at the actual chart right here, these are monthly numbers. Yeah, you see, that's where the problem comes in, because, 1 month it inflates by 14%, 14.6, 14.97. You realize your money is losing value quite quick. And part of the problem is, this has happened before in history. Thus the rhyming or repeating of history thing that we were just talking about, because what ends up happening is that as the value of a country's currency begins to rapidly decrease as they are inflating it, they tend to print more. The idea is if we print more, we can pay off the stuff that we have to print off with the new money that's made. And people go, wait, but now it's worth less because you've printed so much. And they go, no, it's fine. Turn back on the printer. And then they turn back on the printer. And that's kind of how currencies end up collapsing. We've seen it before. We've seen it bajillions of other times. But for some reason, people keep doing the exact same thing. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Because I figured this was going to happen because it's happened many other times before. Right here. Oh my gosh, can you all believe it? Because I am certainly not in the process of being able to believe it. The head of Turkey's central bank ruled out a total ban on cryptocurrencies and said a wide range of crypto regulations are coming within the next 2 weeks. Whoa, buddy. That's a little bit too quick for me. You mean to tell me that something that you thought about banning and you hated for the last couple of years, now you have laws for it coming in the next 2 weeks? Well, that just sounds really convenient to me. So the news is there's no ban. Now, doesn't that seem a bit ridiculous? Because every single time that we keep getting, and I don't really care for the term fake news because I think it's thrown around a little bit too much. Every time we get news that's not real, it scares the markets, and then the markets drop. Remember when we had the news, that guy was like, yeah, the U.S. government's going to ban Bitcoin, and our prices dropped. And then the former head of the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency who's working for Binance had to be like, no, there's no ban. There's no ban coming. No, there's not. No. Every single time that we get news that someone, remember the secretary of the money of the state of the whatever, the people who was supposed to have 2 weeks ago told us on a Monday that there was going to be new hyper crazy crypto regulations. Oops. Where'd that happen? Nope, didn't even come to fruition. And also our cryptocurrency prices dropped. Remember the news that we had about Joe Biden dramatically raising taxes, and I had to have it in the video? Sure, why not? Raise taxes to 195% if you want. But, rich people, they have usually, now here's how it works. Not only do rich people have money, sometimes they have planes. Even if they're not private, their legs allow them to walk onto the plane, and the plane rises by magic, and it takes them to another country where they then land and go, I live here now because my taxes are lower than the other place. So anyway, the news of the day is that the cryptocurrency market is rising. Surprise, there will be no ban in Turkey. Surprise, prize. I could have told you that one. And within the next 2 weeks, I'm sure they're going to have the exact same rules and regulations that they already have on their banking sector on top of the cryptocurrency space. Now, I'm going to show you about 9 things, just so I can make it abundantly clear that this has happened before. It is probably going to happen again until we have every single country on the planet who's finally not lying that they're in some way, shape, form, or fashion into Bitcoin. Because I believed for a very long time, the only reason why you do something like this, listen, there's no way that they went from, we hate it, it's terrible, it's being banned, to, I had a really good night's sleep. Should we not ban it anymore? I was thinking the same thing. That's crazy. What's the word? Legislation. Let's write legislation that doesn't ban it instead. Can we have that done in 2 weeks? Yeah, sure, let's do it. We were just talking about how it takes governments 4 years to be able to actually do anything. And lo and behold, here we are. So without dragging that on for too long, because, I just really can't do it. Here's the actual article right here from Trade Moneda. I guess I said that correctly. About the actual ban not happening and how an arrangement will be coming within the next couple of weeks. How fantastic. So, time machine, taking you all back into the past. So, remember, I've mentioned many other times before that in 2017, you must have known this, the cryptocurrency market completely went insane, lost its mind. Tons of people made tons of money, and many governments didn't really care for it, whatever the actual case might have been. And I mentioned before that a number of countries and other places came forward at the exact same time, all talking about how they were going to ban it, and then none of them actually banned it. That's why whenever we get news that if the entire rest of the world, every other monetary agency, policy, bank has already in some sort of way accepted cryptocurrencies, it's clear that other people probably aren't going to ban it. So here we go. This is from the 11th of January, 2018. It says, Bitcoin crazy South Korea may face a ban on cryptocurrency trading. Did that come true? No, it didn't. This is from January 31st, 2018. Facebook is banning all ads for Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and ICOs. Anybody remember that? I do, because the market continuously dropped. And I said this is all coordinated. And I tried to tell people, because I cannot say it explicitly, I said, hey, maybe none of you should be selling because, you know, it's probably not going to actually happen. Next up, Google banned all crypto-related ads starting on June 2018. Fantastic. Bitcoin's price climbs amid Twitter cryptocurrency ban rumors. Also did not happen. Zimbabwe's central bank bans financial institutions from all crypto dealings. This is from the 12th of May, 2018. Seeing the pattern here, I'm pretty sure you are. Vietnam is the latest country to announce a crypto ban. Didn't happen. India said central bank bans many crypto transactions. This was in 2018 when they first announced that they were going to ban it, and I think that's when we got, I don't know what the exact time frame anymore. The point is, I have speculated for a millennia at this point that this is all coordinated in some sort of way. We ourselves will never be in these meetings, in these boardrooms with people chewing on cigars or whatever people do with cigars, stroking their hairless cats in the top of their dark mountain peak as lightning strikes their castle. But time and history has told me, at least, that this is going to just continue happening over and over and over. So without further ado, just wanted to give you the good news, shrug, that they're not banning it, because they never planned on banning it. And neither does any other country, because it's abundantly clear right now, when you have all these billionaires who are buying up as much Bitcoin as humanly possible, that it's already in our system. Like, it's everywhere. It is whatever this is I'm doing with my hands, it is linked to our systems and is, once again, probably going to be one of the largest, if not the largest, global currencies on the planet. Just thought I'd let you know that. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, this was fairly popular news, and I'll tell you why it's popular. Coinbase announced on Thursday that its pro-trading platform will add stablecoin Tether to their platform. Coinbase will be using the ERC20 Tether and not the TRC20, which is the one from Tron. Tether is a stablecoin available across several blockchains that is pegged to the US dollar. For Tether, the company behind the protocol is responsible for holding cash reserves to back each token. According to CoinMarketCap, Tether is very close to a $50 billion valuation. I'm going to try and give you like the 45-second explanation as to why this is very significant. Tether came out in 2017 when the cryptocurrency market was going crazy. There was a lot of speculation in 2017 that every single time that this brand new company called Tether was printing or creating these new Tether, that they themselves were actually using that Tether to simply buy up Bitcoin. The idea was that people were speculating that them creating in this made up money called Tether, therefore they were using that to buy Bitcoin, and therefore Bitcoin's price was being boosted up. At the end of the year, the people from Tether came forward and said, no, we haven't been buying it. We did it as more demand had increased. They said or claimed that at the time, tons of investors were coming to them because they were looking for we didn't even have the word stable coin yet. They were looking for a dollar pegged something to be able to actually trade cryptocurrencies in, because before, your only option was you either traded into Bitcoin or out of Bitcoin into the altcoins. And that's when we had those really crazy fluctuations. In 2018, 2019, there were a bunch of, I think, lawsuits, and people were pointing fingers at Tether saying, hey, you can't do that because we know that you printed all of this money. So they had, I think, 3 or 4 different companies who came in to look at their reserves. I can't think of the exact word right now. Basically say that they were actually holding all that money. The conclusion is that Tether was holding a huge amount of US dollars, nearly equal to the amount of Tether that they had, and the rest of it was in some sort of assets. We don't know if it's gold, diamond, jewelries, wines, who knows exactly what it could have been. But alas, they had everything backed. And over the last year or so, Tether has been making Tether on nearly every other major blockchain in some sort of way. I assume that it has to do with the decentralization, or I don't know exactly what the thing is, but alas, here we are. So the final point to be made is that it being added onto Coinbase is also quite significant, because a lot of people before, especially those within the cryptocurrency industry, but everyone does this for every other coin, so I just assumed it was nonsense from the very beginning. There are people who love Bitcoin and people who hate Bitcoin, people who love Ethereum and people who love Bitcoin, people who hate this and they love that. So everyone has a hyper love and a hyper hate for some other coin within the industry. Tether being added onto Coinbase, I don't even care if it's Coinbase Pro, is an indication that the people from Coinbase, once again, these are multi-billion-dollar companies. These are not willy-nilly companies who are like, oh, maybe so-and-so and so is going to be happening. No, they have to protect themselves and they have to protect their interests. This means to me that Coinbase knows for a fact that Tether's reserves are actually backed up. They would not be adding it onto their platform, which means that Tether is probably going to be the strongest and growiest, longest standing stablecoin that we have around. There were many other countries as well who tried to make their own stablecoins. I think it was in a bid to try and knock Tether out of the way, which is also type of a little tinfoil hattie, but probably not because it has to do with money. I kept on saying, remember in 2019, I think at one point we had over 130 stablecoins, and this was also coinciding with the news that, Tether was bad, Tether was so-and-so, Tether, how terrible Tether was. But I now assume that it has to do with the fact that these were other companies who were trying to rise themselves up, and the only way that you do it is by knocking out the largest competitor, which didn't work, and this is why we don't hear about the other stablecoins anymore. We only hear about 4 or 5 of them. I think it's the Circle Coin, it's Tether, it's Binance stablecoin, and I think 1 or 2 other ones. So didn't really work, but the news is that they're adding Tether onto their platform. Quite popular news. Here's the other explanation as to why, my opinion. I've said this for a while, and I was actually quite proud of myself that I was able to even find this article, because I knew that it happened years ago, and I've mentioned this so many other times before, and I wasn't able to really show you that it had actually happened. The reason why I believe they're adding the Ethereum Tether and not the Tron Tether, because whatever. We've had news before that Brian Armstrong, the head of Binance, actually likes Ethereum more than he does Bitcoin. I'm not sure if this still holds true. However, I speculated last year and the year before. Remember, every single time that Coinbase was adding a brand new coin to their platform, people were like, hey, can you add this one specific coin? And Coinbase said, we're going to add 45 other coins. And they were all what? They were all ERC20 tokens. They have, I'm pretty sure, more ERC20 tokens than any other coin than they actually have on the platform. So I've believed for a while that they were more Ethereum focused than they ever were Bitcoin focused. Or maybe they liked Bitcoin in the beginning, but Ethereum was more of a money-making opportunity for them. Not really sure. So that's I finally found it. 20th of November 2017, I found it, and I was like, I knew I remember reading this. Anyway, that's the Tether Coinbase news. I'm pretty sure this is it as well. Yep. Coinbase Pro lists Tether as Tether supply approaches 50. That's insane. You know how many? That's so much Tether. And I assume this is going to eventually be $100 billion as well, as the cryptocurrency market continues growing. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, in a promising development that will help crypto assets extend their reach among the masses. I don't know who wrote that sentence. Gemini, the exchange, has announced that its users across the globe can now buy cryptocurrencies using Apple Pay and Google Pay. Both payment methods are now live on the Gemini app, which means users on the app can buy any digital coin of their choice. I mean, the 4 that they have on Gemini, by simply selecting either of the 2 payment options. The procedure to make a purchase on Gemini using Apple Pay or Google Pay is as follows. I don't really care. The point is, if you're on Gemini, if you have it on your phone or your mobile device or on your computer, you have another way to be able to pay. This is not bad. I'm not going to be cynical about it. It's more like it's actually pretty cool, because I think we all need as many options as possible to be able to pay for stuff. It's kind of like what was I making fun of the other day? That bankers, I don't remember who it was, but they were only accepting one form of payment, and I was like, yeah, please, by all means, live in the 1970s if that's what makes you feel happy. So eventually we will be able to buy crypto on every single platform, which is something, this is so weird, because in 2015, this is all like a dream, and I think people are just going to take it for granted, but it is what it is. The fact that you can buy crypto on basically anything, anywhere, and you can pay for anything in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies is kind of fantastic. But once again, people don't realize just how far we've come in this space, but here we are. So yeah, good job, Gemini. And let's move on. Next up, okay, I didn't see this one coming, but alas, here we are. It says Bitcoin has gained increased levels of adoption over the last several months amidst its rise. The government of the U.S. state of Louisiana recently released a resolution in which it noted some of Bitcoin's accomplishments. And they said, and I quote, "Therefore, be it resolved that the House of Representatives of the Legislature of Louisiana does hereby commend Satoshi Nakamoto for his contribution to economic security." Crazy, right? This was said in the House Resolution number 33 by Representative Mark Wright. According to an article from The Hill, the document was signed on Thursday. The shout out to the anonymous Bitcoin creator came after the document gave Bitcoin a pat on the back for its success in terms of adoption and market capitalization. The first lines of the resolution read, "To commend Bitcoin for its success in becoming the first decentralized trillion-dollar asset and to encourage the state and local governments to consider ways that could help them benefit from the increased use of this new technology." This is about the 11th or 12th state within the United States who's done something like this. A lot of other states have put the Bitcoin white paper on their state's website. I think we're eventually going to see this everywhere. However, it's still fascinating to see it happening at all. Like, do you understand the significance of a state in a country that is supposed to be, I guess, in essence, bending the knee to the US dollar, tipping their hat to a decentralized currency that they essentially have no control over? I'm certain that something must be happening behind the scenes, like not a nefarious thing, but more like I'm certain people in government around the world are accumulating as much cryptocurrency as possible because they definitely see where all of this is going. I found this fascinating. I'm not sure if you do. If you don't see the significance of anyone in a government position announcing or releasing a bill talking about how great Bitcoin is and putting the white paper on their state website. Anyway, I thought this was very cool. So I'm just going to move on. And to finish things off, did anyone not expect this to be happening? More than 1,000 wealthy investors have accumulated large sums of Bitcoin over the last 3 months. This was written by Chainalysis chief economist Philip Gradwell yesterday in his weekly market intelligence report. In the report, Gradwell used blockchain data to analyze the prices at which Bitcoin was bought and held. His analysis considered how long the investor held onto their Bitcoin after they acquired it. Gradwell found that when Bitcoin was worth around $54,000, a group of 1,200 investors purchased around 450,000 Bitcoin for a total of $24.5 billion. Yes, rich people are still buying Bitcoin. The chart below shows how much Bitcoin was bought at different price levels over the past few months, and there's a little chart that's just going up, so I assume that's the amount that's being accumulated. Gradwell added that these wealthy investors each hold between 100 and 1,000 Bitcoin and have held their coins for between 1 and 3 months. His chart also recorded other significant purchases by whales at 55,800, and investor or investors bought 229,000 Bitcoin for $1.3 billion. Gradwell noted that this Bitcoin was held on a crypto exchange. Bitcoin held on exchanges is often there to be sold. So, we'll get there one day. I don't know when, but I think at some point we will get to, almost said Logic Palace, just Logic Street, or just something along the way. I'm going to assume, and this is what a couple of other friends were also sending me over the weekend as well. It was like, hey, the prices dropped. Do you think whales are buying? And I'm like, maybe. Yes. I mean, maybe. Yeah. I mean, who can say for certain, because they haven't done it before. I think I'm gonna start making a list, because I already make lists for companies who are buying Bitcoin, and then I give you that list. You can how to see exactly how much has been accumulated. But I want to start making time frames. And I want to see exactly when we get negative news about something, how long it takes for the price to drop, when prices recover, and the fourth part being when we hear that a company purchased as the price dips. Because I think it's happened about 8 times this year already. That's not a fake number. Just this year. We're still in April. So anyway, that's all that news. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, New, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Stefan Dirks Not Brain, Captain Something, and the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, and Carlos was like, Speedy 655, Mobarazzi, Jojo Shawshow, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Crypto Stahl, Pat Turnnoster, or Conan Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolek, Banan, Auspicious Agile, and Blockchain Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Anima Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohamaroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Wish III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxix, Nick Mangiela Vodi, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, His Just Every Day, and Costumes Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Moss Corner Staff, Arfmedic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger and Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Getting better and better every single day. That is wacky. I'm getting better and better. Yeah, thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel who clicked the little join button below. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. Thank you to everyone for just being here, listening to me rambling about the wackiness and craziness of the cryptocurrency space. At the moment, Bitcoin is at $52,811. It is up by 6.3%. It seemed like they tried to have another dip, and luckily the market went back up because I'm so tired of these stupid idiots keeping on trying to crash the market over and over. Like, if you didn't accumulate enough in 2012, just stop. Just exactly. Ethereum is up by 11%. Binance Coin is up by 10%. XRP is up by 11%. Cardano is up by 9%. Polkadot is up by roughly 10%. Litecoin is up by 6%. Chainlink is up by 8%. Solana is up by 16%. Solana is very close to being in the top 10. I'm not sure if it's going to be another one of those, a coin keeps pumping until it enters the top 10 and then kind of slinks back down, which was what we've seen before. The top 10 has remained relatively unchanged. I think the only new entrants who've really entered and stayed are Polkadot, if you will. Solana's up by 17, Lumens is up by 6, Theta is up by 21%, Tron is up by 7.9%, Luna is up by 10, Unicorn is up by 16%, Neo is up by 6, Clayton is up by 13%, Pancake Swap is pancaking all over the place, is up by 23%, IOTA is up by 13%, Aave is up by 21%. You get the point. The market's in green. I'm glad I was asleep during this dip right here. That would have made me very angry to see the market moving up and then trying to be slammed back down. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.